Week 17 of the fantasy basketball season. And here's a few forwards I looked at on the wire this week. The first guy, Terry Taylor of the Indiana Pacers. So Taylor, he's been playing some center over the last few weeks here with the injuries to Bizdays and Sabonis. But now both those guys are back in the lineup for the Indiana Pacers. But Terry Taylor, I said in the Levert video, he's going to make out good with this trade. And I know Taylor, he only played 12 minutes in yesterday's ball game with Sabonis and BD's back in the lineup. But he's still a guy that could put up numbers and still a guy that's been helping fantasy owners over the last weeks on the season here for Taylor. 8.8 points a game, 6.2 rebounds, 1.7 assists, and 58% from the field. But the last couple weeks where he got more playing time, 11.3 points a game, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 58% from the field. So right here, in my opinion, there's no way this Pacer team cannot play this guy at least 15, 20 minutes a game where he could be a threat and where he could help fantasy owners. So the last few games for him, February 2nd versus Orlando, 24 points, 16 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, a 3, 66% from the field. February 4th versus Chicago, 21 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, a 3, 52% from the field. And February 6th at Cleveland, 4 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 33% from the field. So I know he only played the 12 minutes like I mentioned in last night's game, but they counted on him big time over the last few games, playing close to 40 minutes a game. So right now he's available in 68% of fantasy leagues. And I think this Pacer team's going to trade more players where it's going to open up time for Terry Taylor. So I would just hold on to him right now, or obviously pick him up if I'm looking at him in your fantasy leagues. The next forward is Marcus Morris of the Los Angeles Clippers. So Marcus Morris, he's been getting some playing time now since he returned to the lineup. With Paul George still out and Kawhi Leonard most likely out for the season. The other day, Tyrone Lue was reporting. So on the season here for Morris, 16 points a game, 5.2 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 2.1 threes a game, and 42% from the field. But the last couple weeks here for Morris, 18.5 points a game, 5.8 rebounds, 3 assists, 3.3 threes a game. So right now, he's not available in many leagues, only right now 43% of leagues. And this could be one of the last times you could get Morris on your team because he's going to get playing time. This Clipper team, they're most likely not going anywhere this season. But Morris, they gave him a pretty big contract a couple seasons ago. And he's going to play, and he's been playing 35 minutes a game about here since he returned from his injury and the protocol stuff. The last few games, January 31st at Indy, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 28% at the Pacers. February 3rd versus the Lakers, 29 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 6 threes, 68% from the field. And February 6th versus Milwaukee, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, 5 threes, 46% from the field. So Marcus Morris, he's putting up numbers. He's getting the good playing time, 30, 35 minutes a game like I mentioned. And if you need scoring, rebounding, and three-point shooting, he's a big ad that definitely could pay dividends and help your fantasy team this week and for probably the rest of the season. The next forward I look to get this week's Reggie Bullock of the Dallas Mavericks. So Bullock, he's come on late here for this Maverick team. And he did the same thing last season with the New York Knicks. Towards the second half and end of the season, he really had some big ball games and was a good contributor for that Knicks team. And that's why he got a pretty good contract from the Mavericks this offseason. On the season, 7.8 points a game, 3.4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1.8 threes a game, and 41% from the field. But the last couple weeks here for Bullock, 17 in a game, 5.1 rebounds, 1.4 steals, 4 threes a game, and 49% from the field. So right now, he's available in 61% of fantasy leagues. But when this guy gets going, like I mentioned, from the three-point range, he's tough to stop, and he can put up numbers quickly. February 2nd versus the Thunder, 23 points, 8 rebounds, and assists, 3 steals, 5 threes, 50% from the field. February 4th versus Philly, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 threes, 35% from the field. And February 6th versus the Hawks, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and a whopping 6 threes, 57% from the field. So right now you need some scoring and three-point shooting and even a good field goal percentage. Bullock has been the guy, and he's playing 30, 38 minutes a game over the last few weeks. And I know with Kristaps Porzingis out, he's getting more of a scoring load. But right here, Porzingis, knowing him, who knows how long he's going to be out. And who knows if Dallas could flip him or not as well at the trade deadline. But right now, Reggie Bullock is one of the bigger pickups over the last few weeks. And I definitely will give him an ad this week. Next forward is Justin Holiday of the Indiana Pacers. So right here, Holiday, he's been playing good basketball. And now with the trade of LeVert as well, he's another guy that things should open up. LeVert, he was scoring about 20 points a game for this Pacer team. And with his scoring gone, some guys are going to have to pick up the slack. And I think Washington, who I mentioned in the guard video, could. Terry Taylor, he's still could go out there and play basketball and get the job done. And I could see this Pacer team trading more players because, in my opinion, it just made no sense to trade LeVert. I know they got a first-round pick in it, but this team still is in the hunt as well a little. So on the season here for Holiday, 11 points a game, 2.8 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 2.6 threes a game, and 41% from the field. In the last couple of weeks, the numbers, they stayed steady, 11.5 a game, 2.4 boards, 2.4 assists, 2.4 threes a game, and 44% from the field. So the first game yesterday at Cleveland with LeVert out of town and going to Cleveland, obviously. He did play 31 minutes, and he's playing about 35 minutes a game here is Holiday. February 2nd versus Orlando, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, 3 threes, 50% from the field. February 4th versus Chicago, 9 points, 2 assists, 3 steals, a block, 3 threes, 27% from the field. And February 6th at Cleveland, 10 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, a steal, 2 threes, and 40% from the field. So right here, he's not going to put up crazy numbers, but he's playing a lot of minutes. More scoring is going to be available to him with obviously LeVert out of town. And he's a guy that's going to get 10, 11 points a game, a few rebounds, 2.5 threes a game, and he's not going to hurt your field goal percentage. So if you need those categories, I think Holiday's a decent ad this week, and he's available right now in 59% of fantasy leagues. And the fifth and final forward I look to get this week's DeAndre Hunter of the Atlanta Hawks. Hunter, it's been a lost season for the most part for him, obviously with the injuries and protocol stuff, but he's been back now over the last few weeks here is Hunter. And on the season for him, 13.2 points a game, 3.4 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 1.4 threes a game, and 45% from the field. So Hunter, we know he could shoot the 3-ball decently. We know he's an athletic forward that could get to the hoop and score. And he's been up and down this season, but right now it's still surprising to me that he's available in 47% of fantasy leagues. The last few games for him, February 3rd versus Phoenix, 13 points, 2 rebounds, and assist at 57% from the field. February 4th at Toronto, 23 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, 2 threes. And February 6th at Dallas, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 36% from the field. So Hunter, his minutes have gone bumped up. And John Collins possibly could get traded at the deadline. Reports have come out that it's probably not happening, but still, you never know. If they get an offer they can't refuse, we definitely could see Collins on the move. And that'll open up even more scoring for Hunter. So if you need some scoring, some decent rebounding, and a guy who's going to play major minutes, I think DeAndre Hunter is a good ad. And like I mentioned, I'm surprised he's available in still 47% of fantasy leagues. That's a few forwards I look to add on the wire here for Week 17 of the fantasy basketball season.